Egocentric bias. What is it? How does it work? Why do people have it? Where does it come from? Well, egocentric bias is this feeling that I am doing more work than everybody else on my team. Typically, I'm judging myself based on my intentions and others on my perceptions. This is very prevalent with teams that are working remotely. Why? Because they're in oftentimes silos and they're not seeing everything else that everybody else is doing at their organization. So they think to themselves, I'm working my butt off. I'm working really hard. What else? What is everybody else doing? And so we look at that and we think to ourselves, okay, clearly everybody else is slacking and not working hard. How do we know that egocentric bias is going on? Well, look at their scores. If you've got direct reports who have their task performance more than one standard deviation above their team productivity scores, that's typically a good indicator. And by standard deviation, I mean 9%. If you've got a direct report who's more than 9% higher on their own task performance over the team productivity score, that's typically an indicator that, hey, I think I'm working pretty hard, but my team, I don't know about that. I don't know that they're working so hard. I think that they might be slacking or they might not be working as good as they possibly can be. So if you do have a scenario when this is happening, what's really critical is that you are able to have a conversation with them to showcase all the things everybody else on the team is doing. It's so easy for us to become lost in our own echo chamber of what's going on around us. If we can better level with the things that people are doing, that's really critical. Now, the other big thing I'm a big fan of is this thing called Adlerian psychology. Essentially, what this says is that as a leader of people, we want to level with them. We don't want to say like, hey, we're above you. You need to better understand everybody else is what they're doing. What you need to do is you need to go and say, hey, I really appreciate all of the things that you are doing because it allows us to accomplish ABC outcomes that we would not have been able to accomplish without your help. But we also would not have been able to accomplish those same outcomes if it weren't for this person's help, and this person's help too, because they're working on all these other things that help us work better together as a team cohesively. And they're really difficult. Some of the challenges they may not open up to you about, but it can be really tough to get those things done. And together, we're all working really hard to achieve these outcomes. Ultimately, if we can effectively communicate and showcase how other people are doing really great work within our team and in our company, we're going to minimize egocentric bias. We're going to minimize the toxicity that occurs from egocentric bias. And we're going to have a team that is better and more empathetic to the challenges others are facing and are more understanding of what everyone else is doing on our team.